can do its part. Yet we are seeing that there's a pushback even on that front. The Speaker of the Senate, who himself has been quoted making some comments about these abductions, as Maliba says, hiding behind some technicalities to say that that conversation cannot be had because the leader of minority, or it should emanate from either the majority or minority leader. We saw, maybe from a different house, but the leadership, both minority and majority leaders of the National Assembly, also on the presidential platform commenting about the same. Are you confident that Parliament probably could be the place to start this conversation?
Well, far from it, because I think we have agreed kakistocracy is the order of the day. We have the most incompetent houses, both now as Senate and the National Assembly. Because one, for the Speaker to have pronounced himself publicly on abductions and assuming such a reckless position, really that is not, it is way below his standard of operation. Two, then for him to come back to the House and say, we cannot, having discussed the matter outside there, he did not care about the standing orders then. But he comes back to the House and says, this is a matter of national interest, I agree, but we cannot discuss it. It has to be presented by certain specific persons. Really, it speaks to incompetency in both houses. Secondly, Fred, we must agree that the #1 defenders of the abductors have come from government. And they have done it even in front of the president. And the president has not called them to order. So we must ask ourselves as regular Kenyans, so is it that they do not find anything wrong? Is it that they agree with violation of just basic human rights of expression? Is it that in this regime, we should just sit pretty and wait to be guided as they wish? This is not going to happen in modern thinking and modern wisdom. We must take what we call institutional responsibility, and then further it down, cascade it down to individuals.
Question is, will it happen? As you've said, there have been so many instances where people expected an explanation. It was never presented, and nothing, and there were no consequences.
The hope is that today IG will present himself. That would be a good beginning to have this conversation.
If he does.
If he does. If he doesn't, then institutional responsibility, the court should deal with him accordingly within the law. This is the only way we can end this, because, Fred, we may go back and try to unravel what may have transpired, how people were killed, how people are abducted and detained. But also, we must have a progressive conversation and agree that as Kenyans, we want to know that our basic human rights, they remain as so, regardless of who is in office.
There have been even suggestions that this matter should be taken to the ICC. When Dismas. Should that be the way? Because if all else fails locally, should we go to the ICC?
You know, the beautiful thing with the 2010